Hello and welcome to another episode of Laying Down the Lore 40K, a lore podcast in which we aim to separate our Necrons from our Night Lords, our Psychers from our Servitors, and our Orcs from our Old Ones, and generally ask, what's up with this 40k stuff? My name is Ben. You made me think there. My name is Ben Crone Barber, and while I used to know pretty much fuck all about 40k, I now know very little. With me is my co-host, Christopher Crowlin Allen.
How dare you make Ben think, Darren?
How? Who, despite years of valiant effort, still knows next to nothing. And my dear brother Darren.
To the guy that DM'd me asking if this was a wig, why would I choose this one, you fucking idiot?
Who knows so much about Warhammer, it's frankly disturbing. This dichotomy between our levels of understanding is why we're all here, as this series is an attempt to address ignorance.
Our hairpieces.
Did I just get us demonetized by swearing in the first 10 minutes? 30 seconds, whatever the thing is. I don't understand many things to do with the modern world.
Including advertising criteria. No products for under 18s or under 21s can be given the news recently, I'm really pleased about that. Very charged times. Well, it is.
No, this candy is for over 21-year-olds, actually.
Dar, just before the record, should I say listeners, before the recording, Dar was commenting that his hair has now reached equilibrium with his beard.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the same height. I might get... Maybe.
That's impressive.
Mate.
That is impressive. With any luck, Vicky's going to walk into the room one day and just be like, Dar, why are you hanging upside down?
Yeah, that's right. Why is why is the top of your head so fat and long? What?
yeah. Dar, go off the ceiling. What are you doing there?
You ever? Looks like I put. What was that movie? Airplane. Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Stop sniffing isopropyl alcohol, or whatever it's pronounced.
Well, I tell you what, Krell. I'll tell you one thing. It's not pronounced like that. Try again.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Careful.
I don't know.
No, you don't, and that will never not be funny to me.
What's
Isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. Everybody. Isopropyl alcohol.
I think that was one of the cutscenes from Fight Club, wasn't it? Yeah. Isopropyl alcohol.
His name was Isopropyl alcohol Paulson. Yeah.
And isopropyl alcohol Paulson was his name-o.
I-S-O other letters.
I-S-O-P-I-O-K alcohol Paulson.
What's his name? Oh!
Hey, listeners, you want to hear something funny? Kral the other day messaged us and said, I think we need to stop messing around so much on records.
No. I said, guys,
I could
real talk.
Testament to that.
I think we need to focus about 50% more on the subjects. Don't forget why the listeners are here.
But only in the bonus material. But only in the bonus. Dart, this is our time right now. In this little section.
This is our time.
Get it all
using
out.
Our words. Yeah.
Yeah, just get it all out. And then, we can concentrate. Right, Crowl.
So
I'm not even going to finish that sentence because it's not the WhatsApp recap. It's the other one.
Correct. I hope you're going to walk into that one.
Fuck. I knew I forgot to do something.
Citizen of the Imperium, it's time for frontal lobotomy or bottle in front of me.
Fuck it, let me think of some questions for both of you. No? All right. Tumbleweeds.
Do you ever have those moments where something happens and you think, God, if I'd have made that other decision, would a parallel version of myself just gone off in another direction? I just saw the whole train wreck of that episode. It's in the flash of an eye. I was like, bam, Show cancelled. That's where that goes. Kral, please.
Why are Kral's guitars on fire? Yeah.
Right, go on then, Kral. Ask some questions.
No. I spoke before I thought about what I was going to propose that I was going to do.
And that's why we love you, mate. That is why we love you.
So, retracted.
What's wrong with airplane food?
I am keeping score of this. So currently, Kral, you have 11 and I have 12. So it's pretty much neck and neck, mate.
Cool. All right. You're marking your own homework, are you? Good. At least it's fair. All right.
Keeping our own scores. Yeah.
Sounds legit. Yeah.
Okay. Question 1 to Ben. How tall were the doors leading into the mining facility?
30 meters.
Mr. Kral?
30 stories.
There we go. Another one for Kral.
Oh, what an idiot.
You know what? That
idiot.
was like the one and only question I'd thought of preparing. And I was like, let me ask the question.
Do you know what? Qualify. In my defense, I haven't had enough coffee this morning, so I'm going to give myself that one. Go on.
Given that I'm keeping score, I'm going to mark that one down for me. Yeah.
What I meant is I'm going to give myself another coffee.
Who watches the watchers? Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr.
Or whatever
Kral,
that Latin is.
Come at me, bro.
What was the name of the tech priest that took over the mining facility?
Medeus.
Another one for Kral, Ben.
Medeus. Oh, he was Medeus. He was Medeus.
Do you think when he walks into a room, like without announcing it, someone turns around and goes, Medeus? No, please yourselves. Ben.
Right. Yo, word to your mum.
What type of vehicle did the two acolytes of the Inquisitor drive in that amazing cinematic sequence as they leapt over the chasm of the mining facility?
I know it was a buggy with a
machine gun on the back.
Gun on the back.
Think of star signs. Think of star signs. Bovine star signs.
Oh.
The cow.
Okay, excellent.
Moo will never not be funny. I don't know. The cow.
Mr. Chris, an opportunity to steal.
Wasn't Taurus, was it?
And there we go. Another point for Kral's now 3-0.
What was it called?
The Taurus.
The Taurus. Well done.
Sagittarius, Taurus.
Yeah, Sagittarius is not a.
I'm weirded myself out here. I'm a bit scared.
He's getting the right answer after right answer. What's happening? What's going on?
The rest of my day is going to be shit. I've just
like that episode of Family Guy where Peter wakes up and he's real and he's like, oh, this is weird.
The hardest I've ever laughed at Family Guy, which means it's the moment that Family Guy peaked for me, was Peter farting for the first time in his mid-30s. What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
Mr. Kral, how many years as a servitor was Inquisitor Danzig sentenced to after being found guilty of being an incompetent twat?
Something like 2,700 years. Around that. That's what I want to say.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
he's taking it, isn't he? 4 for 4.
Yeah, he's taking it 4-0.
Fucking hell. Well, so Ben's on 20, I'm on 10, bizarrely now, or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the score.
Well done, Kral. You're doing worse than you were before.
Well done, Kral. I've taken points off you to keep you grounded.
Teach you a lesson.
Right.
That was a proper Inquisitor Danzig moment, wasn't it? Well done for doing your best, but you are now a servitor for 2,700 years.
2,700 years. Yeah.
Please watch next episode as for analytics reason, Ben changes the whole format again.
Yeah.
Lads, I don't think this is gelling with the audience. I think we need to go to something where I win. I mean, that is better.
Yeah. I can't show you any of those comments because they were unfortunately lost in a Spotify reformatting episode.
Yeah, they were deleted in what I like to call a tantrum. Yeah.
Okay.
A tantrum 404.
For posterity, Chris, you have 15, I have 12. So well done.
So this episode, we are departing from our usual deep dives to go in a shorter deep dive. So an unusual deep dive.
So an ankle deep dive.
Knee deep
kind
dive.
of like a wade. A bit of a wade.
A bit of a wade.
Yeah.
God, he just sucks the air out of a room, doesn't he?
I do.
Yeah.
Crap.
Hi.
It's a good job you're pretty.
Are we calling this you were calling it the hummingbird method?
The hummingbird method, which is we're going to dart from topic to topic between episodes, not we're duct taping a hummingbird to our peens, which no one has ever done and is not the best sensation I've ever had. So with this episode, we're going to focus on, it's needlessly sexual, this episode.
He does not speak for this show, people. This is purely his own
because
stuff,
of the ball gag.
The horrible thing is that he does speak for the show, Ben. He is the voice of the show.
No, Crowd. He speaks on the show. With comments like that, we have to be
as
very,
Darren
very...
would say, he's of the show, not with the show.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So this episode, we're going to carry on the thread from the Doom of Mimera and have a look at Aeldari aspect warriors. What they are, where they came from, what their names are, what they do.
John.
How do they enjoy their off time? That kind of notion. So before we dive into the lore proper, it would be good to give everyone an idea of the context for within the game itself that that the concepts of the aspect warriors were developed from. So if we look at image 1, we can see that is the first 12 space elves, nascent Aeldari, that were released in I think it was late 87, yeah. That kind of captures the design aesthetic of the Aeldari, and specifically Aeldari, or Eldar as was, pirates. There was small army lists or small squad lists within the Rogue Trader rulebook, where you could utilize those miniatures to build squads to fight the battles, which was Rogue Trader was more like a tactical RPG than a true war game, a true tabletop game at the side. It had significant levels of crunch in terms of the rules were quite granular, and to be able to use them.
£2.50 for 5. Bloody
yeah, it's crazy.
Bargain. That's mad.
I still have all of those. In fact, I still have about 4 or 5 of each one of those in a box. I'm trapped in a box.
What? Sorry, Darren. What magazine is this image taken from? This beautiful image.
That one's taken, I believe, from either a White Dwarf advert in their White Dwarf magazine, or it's taken from the Book of the Astronomicon, which was the first supplement book to 40K Rogue Trader, which had the most complex army lists available. You needed a degree in maths to work out what the points costs were for everything, because they had half points in their calculations. Mr. Ben?
You described it as having a lot of crunch, so I didn't quite follow that. What did you mean? Is that it was granular?
It's very, very low level detail. Like there was a rule or a table you had to roll on for everything. I
see. Right.
Games were quite slow, and indeed, it was recommended in the rule book that you actually had a third player there who operated as the games master. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Please do not play this without a PhD.
Yeah. The following 2 years saw the Aeldari range kind of really fleshed out then with command level miniatures, some walkers. So you had the advent of Aeldari dreadnoughts, and then you had the vampire walkers and the ghost warriors. They were all introduced early days, and jet bikes as well. Aspect warriors were not a thing. Craftworlds existed, but the lore was very kind of, half a page worth of lore just to be able to keep the miniature sales going and keep them vaguely interesting. It wasn't until the advent of the Epic game system, and specifically a supplement called Codex Titanicus, where you see the kind of first seeds of aspect warriors fall into the Aeldari war culture, I suppose. And if we have a look at image 2, those images are lifted directly from the Codex Titanicus supplement. You see, I think it's on the left side, you see Eldar with kind of wings. They were referred to at this stage as Swooping Hawks, which is a name that is retained as the aspect warrior concept continues. The other side, you have something called the Avenging Warriors, which are so they end up being they will turn eventually into Dire Avengers, aspect warrior temple.
How do they sit?
They don't. They're like flamingos. They lift one leg up and just stand there.
Got it. Yeah, just because he's got something strapped to his butt.
Yeah, what are his
buttocks?
Bum pills?
They're bombs.
Oh,
I'm saying like grenades, not fancy way of saying bums.
Bombs, darling.
Well, there's for listeners, there's an area in Edinburgh called Morningside where sex is what the coal comes in. Yeah, but you can see from those images, both the Swooping Hawks and the Avenging Warriors, that they're armed and armored pretty much exactly the same as the original miniatures. So they have the same look, the same kind of weird chainmail-y mesh armor, the same kind of plates hanging off of it, and the same kind of generic weapons. Mr. Ben.
I can see that their armor also has the what looks like little soul gems. Were they soul gems at that point, or sorry,
no? They were just bumps. They were just bumps on the armor.
Bumps.
Yeah,
and at some point they were like, "We've got to do something with these bumps."
My bumps, my bumps, my bumps. My lovely.
Well, no, this
bumps.
is it. This is how I'm going to introduce myself.
I got it from my elven mama.
Yeah. Hi, Darren Barber. Just bumps. Yeah.
I have bumps.
It was with
in my elven trunks, and so on.
He's done.
I'm done.
Those 4 points have really gone to his head.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
So within 6 months of the release of the Codex Titanicus, we arrive at White Dwarf 124, and that's where we start seeing the concept art for the first kind of sets of aspect warriors done by Jez Goodwin. So images 3 and 4 are taken from the Eldar collection book, but it was these images that were included in the White Dwarf. It was a sampling of these images. So what we're looking at is effectively a 2-page spread of concept art on the Fire Dragons aspect warriors. So on image 3, it has the kind of full torso concept of the Fire Dragon and includes a lot of kind of aesthetic traits that will be carried through the rest of the Aeldari range. Principally, the chainmail is gone, replaced by a bodysuit upon which are attached wraithbone plates. And you find that is replicated across not only the Aspect Warriors ranges, but the rest of the Aeldari miniatures as the range progresses. Image 4 shows you the detailing of an Exarch, who are the kind of leaders of the squads of Aspect Warriors. They are more, and we'll cover that this episode, of course, together with what does an Aeldari look like under the helmet. So you can see they have ritualistic face paint, and that's replicated across all of the aspect warriors, and is part of their ritual of donning the mask, where they separate their violent self from their regular self and become this warrior rather than everyday Joe Eldar. Josephine Eldar?
Those images are amazing.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's the Eldar collection is such a great book because it's all of Jez Goodwin's original concept art for the Aeldari through the ages, through like the 3 or 4 decades, and then also the Drukhari as well. And there's some amazing images of the Exarchs, the kind of dragon warriors. A few issues of White Dwarf later, we're into July 1990. If you look at image 5, those are I think that's the miniatures associated with the new Eldar army list. Within that image, you can see, if you have a look at the fire dragon, it pretty much is bang on for the concept art that was in the previous images. And the same is true for all of the other 6 aspects there. So at the very start of the idea of aspect warriors on the tabletop, there are only 6 temples, 6 shrines, or 6 variants of aspect warriors. We have the Dire Avengers, the Fire Dragons, the Howling Banshees, the Striking Scorpions, Swooping Hawks, and Dark Reapers. And each of those embodies an aspect, hence the term aspect warriors, of war that the Aeldari can make on their enemies. If we have then a look at the growth into 2nd edition, you have a look at image 6, and that will give you, again, the art for 5 of the original 6, and I think I added in the warp spiders as well. The guy with the death spinner kind of standing like this. Yeah.
Yeah. He's shooting his gun like he was playing a guitar. Ding.
Yeah.
So wow, that image you just showed us last with all the minis, that was in 1st edition.
That was in 1st edition. It was the second. It was in White Dwarf 27 or 127. That's when the Craftworld Eldar list was released.
Wow. So their kind of overall concept today was established like really early.
1990. Yeah.
Right. That's amazing. Because a lot of those minis look very similar to the minis today, don't they? The different the different types.
Yeah,
That's cool as well.
So with 2nd edition, we added in the warp spiders, as seen in that image there, together with the shining spears, which is the first vehicular aspect warrior, as they are warriors mounted on jet bikes. It's not then until the 5th edition that we see the Shadow Spectres arrive. We covered their rebirth over the last few episodes of the Doom of Mimera. And then in 6th edition, we had our first true vehicle called the Crimson Hunters. That's an aspect temple that uses fighter jets as their kind of method of making war. There are, I was about to say, literally hundreds of different aspect temple. There are only about another like 10 named that don't have minis in them. But we'll cover them towards the end of the episode.
Is it implied that there are many more than that? If those are the named ones. Right, okay, cool.
So in terms of the lore, what are the aspect warriors? They are based on exclusively on craft worlds, as in it's Craftworld Aeldari that have aspect warriors. So if we have a look at image 7, that is an Aeldari craft world floating through space.
Is it a ship? Is it propelled?
Yeah, all craft worlds are ships. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Some are the size of cities, some are the sizes of small moons.
Yikes. Okay.
Hence the world rather than Aeldari ship. Aeldari spaceship. They call them worlds.
Craft dinghy. To the craft dinghy.
To the craft yacht.
Yeah. To the craft sunseeker.
The aspect warriors are, to no one's surprise, warriors. And so they are responsible for, they are like the heavy infantry or specialized infantry, usually found at the forefront of any conflict that the Aeldari are involved in. So if you have a look at image 8 there, that's from the cover of one of the Aeldari codices, and you can see that it's aspect warrior heavy, as in...
Yeah, don't see any enemies. They're just...
Well, they're all dead.
That was just a marketing exercise.
Yeah, it was just they're all posing.
There's no enemies.
Yeah, you see you're great warriors, but I never see the guys you're fighting. Yeah. If we have a look at image 9, then that's the Eldar versus some orcs, and you can see we've got some various different types of aspect warrior in the battle. We've got the heads, and I think an Exarch for the fire dragons in the bottom left. Then above them, striking scorpions. In the distance there, you've got some dark reapers with the triangular back banner, as they are fighting against orcoid menaces.
Lots of lunging in the Eldar, isn't there? Lots of lunges.
They're very flexible, Chris. Yeah.
Very supple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of striking poses.
Didn't notice that last image is all lunges as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you could, you would. Do you know?
Yeah. That last image is outstanding, isn't it? Was that a cover art?
That's the cover for the 2nd edition Eldar Codex.
Right.
And there's been a couple of great conversions of the Dire Avenger Exarch, which is the lunge guy with the sword out there. Yeah. It's really complex conversion. Aspect warriors, then, the aspects that they represent are that of their war gods, or war god, Khaela Mensha Khaine. Of the similar to the Drukhari Khaine, similar to the Dark Elf Khaine of the Old World. It's the same god concept, but in space.
What's the name of their god?
Khaela Mensha Khaine, or Khaela Mensha Khaine.
Khaela Mensha Khaine. Khaela Mensha Khaine. Yeah. Sounds like a double barrel name.
Ask your doctor if Khaela Mensha Khaine is right for you.
Numbs everything.
Yeah. Wandering teeth. The
anus rib.
Anus ribs. Worst nickname ever.
Coughing up bones.
Yeah. So in the 40K lore, their war god, when the Eldar civilization collapsed, as in transformed through the aggressive death orgy into the god Slaanesh, who is their kind of arch nemesis on a spiritual level, their war god fought against Slaanesh in an effort to give the other Eldari gods and the Eldar themselves, as was, time to escape, time to make plans, time to get the F out of D, and D is dodge. And we can see here in image 10 and 11, that's the avatar of Khaine, because at the moment of his defeat, the god Khaela Mensha Khaine was, I'm saying Kyle, the Eldar god Kyle. Yeah. Khaela Mensha Khaine was shattered into thousands of shards, and each one of these shards eventually found its way, or most of the shards found their way into the heart of a craft world. So there is a chamber in each craft world which has a metal shard of the god Khaine as a metallic statue within their craft worlds. Mr. Chris.
Who shattered Khaine into 1,000 pieces? And doesn't that
Slaanesh.
mirror what happened to Tzeentch? Didn't the other gods,
yes.
in fantasy lore?
Yeah,
Didn't
it
they
does.
throw Tzeentch off the top of the tallest mountain in the fated place, and he shattered into 1,000 pieces?
And each one of those pieces became a spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the horrors go around. You get the duo horrors. Yeah.
Yeah.
One looks at them, one writes them down. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
One looks at them, one writes them down. You heard it here, folks.
That's it. Yeah.
So how did the shards make their way to the Craftworld?
Space magic, Ben. Why are you trying to throw rational thought around space magic?
Yeah,
It's dragging a star again. It's dragging a star. Why am I questioning it?
Yeah.
It's a star in drag. Yeah. I don't know why I'm questioning
Space butterflies, Ben, with chains. That's how they did it.
Okay, fine.
Right, so each one of these shards manifested in the heart of these craft worlds. So each of these statues can reactivate, and that's what you're seeing in both of those images, 10 and 11. You're seeing the actual shard, which is the statue, becoming possessed by the kind of collective racial memory of violence and war, and it then is used as the war totem for each craft world.
Cool.
And we'll talk about how those are reactivated later on. Following from the collapse of the Eldar civilization and the kind of adaptation to spaceborne life, Eldar culture had to change because it was the same culture, this I can do anything I want all the time culture, that led to the death birth of Slaanesh. And their souls, upon dying, are drunk by Slaanesh, like the tears of orphans. I don't know why I chose that. And that's why the Eldar wear the soul stones, the way stones, that their souls can go into, and then they can be attached. The stones can be attached to the wraithbone core of the craft worlds, which serve as kind of an infinity matrix, which allows their spirits and souls to dwell forever within the psychoreactive substance of wraithbone. So you have like a living culture and a dead culture on each craft world with a lot of overlap. As part of this new culture they're trying to create, they have to work out a way to harness the total emotion of the Eldar, that the Eldari feel. We've discussed this previously on the podcast, where Eldar feel everything to the nth level, or can. So they can feel, when they love, it's more deeply, and dare I say, stalkerly than any human can. And the violence they feel is multiples of whatever a human can feel. And so it's
They're
like
drama queens.
Yeah, a little bit. So thus they're kind of in a fight for survival with their own very nature. Meaning that they are their own worst enemies, which is perhaps the most human thing of all. And so unable to... Aren't we all?
Isn't there a bit of Eldari in all of us?
Yeah. Gross.
I wish.
So the Eldari developed this path system. And there are tens, if not hundreds, or at least 50 paths that an Eldar can join. And so the path of the warrior is one of them. It's where you take your desire for violence and war and all the kind of surrounding elements of that, and you focus it to the exclusion of all other aspects of your life for a period of time. Now, there's the same with the path of the seer, which is the kind of psyker path within Aeldari culture. You have the path of the outcast, where they become scouts, but you also have things like path of the baker, path of the servant, path of the librarian. It's all this kind of stuff. It's where you you dedicate your entire being to that one aspect of life aboard the craft world. And once you've mastered it, you pick another aspect. You pick another path, and then another path. It's how they stop themselves from going completely mental with their very long lives filled with raging emotions.
How long are their lives?
500. I think 500 is the average, but there are Eldar like Eldred Ulthuan, who is well over 10,000 years old.
Wow.
So very much like, they won't like this comparison, but very much like the dwarves of fantasy. Once you get to a certain age, you then become functionally immortal. In terms of just, you won't die of old age.
With the paths that they choose, when you say that they, I was going to say, struggle with kind of very extreme emotions, does choosing a single path allow them to focus on that one thing to the exclusion of a lot of the other emotions that would normally be kind of coursing through them? Like, does it help give them peace in that respect?
I'm not sure if it gives them peace. It definitely gives them focus. So maybe to some extent, the day-to-day cares of, will I be a baker today? No, I've got a gun. I'll shoot a cunt. That's I'd find that pretty peaceful, actually, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and nothing in between. It just goes
and nothing
baker,
in between. Bread. Well, I subscribe.
It's cake or death.
Fuck it. I was just about to say Eddie Izzard. Cake or death.
Cake or death. Yeah.
So with the kind of the as I say, the fight for survival and the dwindling resources that come along with having a long-lived race that doesn't really have sex all that much, and can't really replace their losses in any meaningful way without using necromantic rituals to jam souls of dead warriors into wraithbone robot constructs, they're forced to wage war with extreme precision and care. So rather than relying on brute force, they kind of deploy these highly specialized warrior units, the aspect warriors, each fulfilling kind of a unique battlefield role, all of which then their deployment is guided by the seers and commanders within the craft world, so that even a single squad can absolutely devastate and cripple enemy forces before meaningful resistance is found. And we saw that with Irilith and his campaign against the unnamed space lizards during the intro to the Doom of Mymera. Mr. Ben.
Just on that note at the start of what you said there, what's the kind of gender divide within the, what's the ratio of male to female in the society? And is procreation still a thing, albeit, rare?
Procreation is still a thing. I don't know the exact demographic details of the Aeldari race. I'm assuming it's relatively close to our own, a kind of 50-50. Right. But relationships are different to what
fucking
we would
intense.
Consider them to be. Yeah.
Man. Are women as much able to take these kind of warrior paths as the men are? Is it kind of a warrior society in that respect?
The kind of gendered roles, as we understand them and as we have them, don't exist in the craft world.
Right.
There's no bystanders in a fight for survival. You can't set aside a chunk of your population who are only going to do, who won't, how am I going to phrase this without getting cancelled? Set aside a portion of your culture that isn't involved in the Darwinian fight for survival on a daily basis. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Is it? Are the craft worlds ever structured like a patriarchy or a matriarchy? Is there a single leader?
No. Again, that kind of gender divide doesn't exist in Aeldari culture.
Right. Okay.
Pretty androgynous.
Is there a leader? You might be covering this later, but is there a leader of a craft world? Is there a kind of?
There's a leading council of a craft world. It's usually made up of the seers because if you recall, they're the ones that can see into the future a little bit. So they're guiding the not only the direction but the actions and evolution of the craft world and its politics.
It'd be good if
that is not to say that
see into the future.
Yeah. I'm glad they can't because I don't trust a fucking one of them.
Yeah, Ben. Orcs, right, Darren? Orcs.
That's not to say that other Eldar don't have visions. All of them have some ability to receive a vision of the future. And Irilith, in the Doom of Mymera campaign, they saw that the unnamed lizard race as being a threat, and so convinced the leading council of Mymera and then deployed the army, which never returned. Good one, Erlith, you douchebag. So with the aspect warriors, the ideal form of war is complete and total victory with minimal or no casualties at all. So in that instance, or in that example, it doesn't replicate the kind of more brutal fighting styles of other races within the within 40k. So they're really the antithesis of like a horde army, like the Tyranids or the Orcs. They are like a scalpel, effectively, against their enemies rather than a sledgehammer. Simply because there are not that many of them. So every Aeldari who's killed is a big loss to their culture in general, and also the craft world and their kind of group of friends and stuff. So upon joining the path of the warrior, the Aeldari in question are trained in kind of super disciplined destruction, helping to channel the kind of darker instincts of their psyche towards, beneficial violence, which I suppose is what armies are for their own nations. It's divided into, as I say, the various different warrior aspects, each of which represents a facet of the war god Kyle, we'll call him, Khaela Mensha Khaine. And thus
Kieran?
each one...
Kyle.
Yeah. Each one of the warrior shrines or types of aspect warrior provide their warriors with training for unique combat styles and specialist weapons and specialist tactics. And all of these traditions, or the traditions for each of these shrines, stems from the teachings of the respective Phoenix Lords, who were the kind of warrior archetypes who defined what each aspect is. And we'll talk about them shortly as well. Mr. Chris.
So the concept of Space Marine companies is similar to that of Aeldari aspect warriors. The companies represent different Primaris Space Marines. Each company has a specialist heavy weapons, assaults, fighting technique and range of weapons, and the aspect warriors are the same, right?
Yes, and
to
also no. Yeah, to a degree.
Yes with an if, no with a but. Okay.
Yeah. And with a maybe. So in terms of...
shut up, Krell.
Shut up, Krell, with a Ben.
Featuring Ben, yeah.
So it's a difficult kind of analogy to shoehorn in, but I think it's doable insofar as you have assault companies and fire support companies. Those could represent the shrines that are associated with kind of close-up violence, and the shrines associated with kind of violence from a distance, or ultra-violence from a distance. But they're not the same. The only unifying aspect of them is that they're Aeldari, and they fight on the same side.
Yeah.
Does that mean then that the most vulnerable an Aeldari aspect warrior would be, it would be when they're put in a situation that their aspect is not the best tactic for? And is that perhaps a differential between them and Space Marines? Because I think with Space Marines, you said like all of the Space Marines are trained to, a very, very high standard. And then there's like a slight specialization. They're given a heavy weapon, or they're given this, which means that they're quite versatile, aren't they? They can be dumped into pretty much any situation and they will operate as is. Yeah. Is that not the case with Aspect Warriors?
Aspect Warriors, with one exception perhaps, are not all-rounders.
Right, okay.
Whereas a Space Marine will adapt to any given situation, given that they've all had the same training, they're all able to use different weapons. That is not true for Aspect Warriors. Aspect Warriors are focused to one specific way of making war. Great question.
Okay. It's like you and me, Ben. We've been trained very differently. Like, you use a knife and fork, I exclusively use chopsticks. Like, put you in front of a bowl of noodles, put me in front of like a breakfast,
bowl of soup.
Big English breakfast with a bowl of soup with a knife and a fork. Fucking hell.
Chopsticks with soup. Go on.
I was wondering. I was like, what the fuck do we specialize in, Kral? I'll take
annoying me. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of training in that.
Yeah. And how?
Comes naturally.
So each Aspect Warrior belongs to a specific shrine, which is dedicated to one form of war within the Aeldari culture. So they master both the physical aspect of the war, but also the spiritual discipline required to be able to embody that facet of Khaela Mensha Khaine. So it's, if you can imagine, when philosophically, when Slaanesh shattered the war god, each one of those shards was a specific way of making war. It wasn't actually that, but that's what it represents. The totality of war broken down into fundamental elements, which then became separate aspects that could be used in given situations. Mr. Kral.
Khaine is Khaela Mensha Khaine. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Khaine.
Yeah.
We just know him as Khaine. Got it. Yeah.
Does that mean that some of those shards could be, in terms of if the whole was war as a whole, does that mean some of those shards are like not reconnaissance, but like resourcing, supply chains,
logistics,
like administration, logistics? Is that is it fair to say that? So, I mean, it might not be named, but is it fair to say that somewhere in the Aeldari society there is an aspect path that is pencil pushing, paper pushing, whatever the term is?
You don't want to really upset the Garson pencil warriors. They will fuck you up. They'll John Wick you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can't wait to see what they gift this with. Yeah.
There's a meme right there.
Yeah. So, an interesting aspect of the aspect warriors is that it's a day job. They train. When they're not actively at war, they go home and have normal, peaceful Aeldari style space arboreal lives within the craft world, and they only really don their war mask when they're called to battle. So they do train, they do mask up when they're training, but they don't. They never leave the temples, the shrines, with their arms and armor unless there's a call to battle. So very much what do they call it? Civilian Defense Forces, National Guard, that kind of notion. They are day warriors when they're not actively out fighting. That's true of all of them except the Exarchs. The Exarchs are the leaders of each shrine, and are permanently devoted to war and remain within the shrine at all times. They live in the shrines. They don't go out and kind of mingle with other Aeldari unless there's the active call to war. Mr. Chris.
It's funny how in the Warhammer universe and the journey you've taken us on, where war is just a given, you live, breathe, and sleep war or struggle or that kind of thing. And ironically and bizarrely, the Aeldari have the more normal routine. Like, there's a time and a place for fighting and training, and there's a time and a place for family and dinner time. And evening
farming.
Classes,
space farming,
and farming,
space,
whatever,
sparming,
sparming,
yeah. Well, Eldar don't live on space landmass bread alone. How's that for a mashed up thing? Anyway, mashed up landmass bread. So, in essence, then, with the aspect shrines, Eldari warfare is used as a precise, kind of highly specialized art form that is become ritualized within each given shrine, and the kind of ritualized nature of it is the aspect that they represent as they're fighting. It's shown to kind of, or rather, it's designed to show that survival through kind of skill, foresight, and kind of exact and flawless execution of their way of making war is always superior to brute strength. And for the vast majority of cases, that is true.
Is that just because they're not strong? Is that why they say that? The strength is just not a thing. Agility, dexterity, on point. But like, strength's overrated. But you just don't lift enough, buddy. You're like, you wouldn't be saying that if you were strong, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Way to mock a dying race, Chris. Way to mock him. Being on the path of the warrior, the path of the aspect warrior, is a fundamental step in most Aeldari lives. And a lot of it is done by the young, who still have this kind of fire and passion of youth. And of course, it's Eldar Passion Plus, subscription only, where you have the drive and the anger at the realization that your race is headed to extinction, that you're driven to this defensive, protective mode. And so following the path of the warrior is fundamental to other areas of the Aeldari culture and defense. So most of the Eldar guardians, who are the kind of basic foot troops, are former aspect warriors who have given up the path of the warrior, but they're now like the National Guard. You know, they're the weekend warriors. They're the ones that are called up when there's a need for bodies. The other kind of extreme of that are the autarchs, who are the commanding strategists and generals of the Aeldari culture. Some craft worlds include this in their kind of leadership group. Most craft worlds don't. Most craft worlds still require you to have been in the path of the seer, a psyker, to be able to kind of rule, in quotes, or to govern a craft world, guide a craft world. So if we have a look at images 12 and 13, that is an Aeldari autarch, a general within the army. And
that's cape.
There's a very kind of Romanesque feel to the position. You're nominated as you're chosen to be the general of a force or of a mission. And because you have been following the path of the warrior previously, I think it's 13 is the miniatures. If you have a look at that, you can see there's the one on the left has the kind of Reaper launcher associated with the Dark Reaper aspect temple. And they have the one on the right then has the wings, the jump pack associated with the Swooping Hawks. one of them, I can't remember which, also has the Mandy blasters, which are the kind of helmet enhancers that fire like poison shards into enemies at close quarter combat as well.
Mandy blasters.
As in mandibles, but they're blasters.
Are those in the art of the autarch? In the foreground, you've got, I think these guys are striking scorpions. Is that what's on their helmet? The kind of, it looks like little guns.
Yeah, wrapped around the kind of base of their helmet is a unit that fires basically poison shards into enemy forces or the enemy that they're attacking. But the autarch is the kind of central figure there, standing above it with the kind of white cloak. And
he's got them as well.
And the scorpion dreads. Dreadlocks, a huge symbol of striking scorpion culture.
Nice.
Just to talk about the weapons a little bit, if you look at image 14, that is the the random weapons table from the Craftworld army list from first edition. And it's got some crackers in there. I'll just touch on one, which is the Web of Skulls, which is it's like bolas, but it's chains with skulls at the end. And you can throw it and it can hit a few enemies and come back to your hand. It was awesome.
Whose skull?
Nice.
There it is. Web of skulls. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are they consist of crystal skulls? Okay, so they're synthetic. They're not actually like their enemies or indeed Aeldari skulls. Yeah. They're just fashioned. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what? When you share a page like that, I whenever I see the game of 40K or even the old world or Age of Sigmar being played, I always think I really want to do that. I really want to try it. And then I look at that, and the moment I start reading, my brain goes, "Nope, fuck off. Too much information." Just, that's what we're talking about the level of detail in the first edition. It was crazy. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot, man. Yeah. It's a lot. Just tell me where to fire.
It's a lot.
Just tell me when to roll the dice and what I'm going for. That's all.
So, as I say, the path of the warrior is open to every Eldar, and it's the younger Eldar that come in, and usually it's the younger Eldar that go in and take advantage of that path. It's seen as kind of mastering and then shedding your more violent kind of predispositions. Through the discipline of the kind of, effectively the warrior Shaolin monks of the Aeldari culture. We touched there on Exarchs, and Exarchs are an aspect warrior of a given shrine who has become permanently trapped. So they've become trapped on the path of the warrior in a given shrine and are unable to remove the kind of war mask and return to their peaceful life. And they are thus consumed by the constant need for war. And the Exarchs devote themselves entirely to that type of combat and serve as the kind of instructors of new recruits, together with being priests of Khaela Mensha Khaine, as well as guardians of the shrine itself. So they become like the humble, extremely violent caretakers and instructors of each shrine. Each shrine then serves as the center for training for the rituals associated with that aspect of war and preparation. It's the kind of logistics loading ground or kitting out area where Exarchs conduct sacred rites before the kind of the defined altars of their war god, and they are the ones who apply the face paint that we saw in image 4, I think it was. You had the fire dragon with the kind of face paint on. The Exarchs are the ones that apply that, and that forces then the aspect warrior who's being daubed to enter into that kind of war mask idea. It's like a meditative marking where they fully embrace the need for war, violence, and death on behalf of their race.
Is it purely symbolic, or does it have a psychological effect or even chemical effect on them? When they don the mask, they just get fucking mad for it? Or
from the lore I've read, it's a symbolic kind of part of the ritual. There may be psychoactive elements in it, but it's designed. It's what's that? What's the cognitive training thing that people are big on?
Behavioral therapy.
No, it's N something or something CBT.
Yes,
CBT.
Exactly. Yeah, neuro-linguistic programming, is that?
It's that. That's what. But for most of it is. When this happens, your brain goes swing and you start stabbing people.
Yeah, Kral, it's exactly the same as what happens to you when you put your makeup on before heading out on a Friday night. Do you know what I mean? Like before that, you're just every day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 Kral. And then you get
a normal person.
Yeah, you get the blusher on, you get your eyeliner on, and then it's just fucking chaos.
Out comes the sass.
Yeah.
Okay, Queen.
Kral is embodying the...
down, buddy.
Yeah. Kral embodies the aspect of the whore, brackets, non-derogatory.
Whoa.
Kral it's not judging. I said it's non-derogatory.
I'm sexually confident, that's all. Just fucking...
Yeah, there's lots of guys in prison because of sexual confidence, Kral. Moving on. So...
Are you losing flexibility? Concerned about how your quads might look on the next battle PR shoot? Breathe, brethren. You are simply having an Aeldari experience. If you're over 300 years old, you are likely experiencing a midlife slowdown, and that's okay. Here at Webway Workout, we support ailing aspect warriors such as yourself who have mastered their way of war to embark on a new path, the path of the pelvic floor. Through our intense training, you will devastate the Dire Avenger downward dog, smash the striking scorpion side plank, whoop the Webway warrior pose, and of course master the greatest weapon in any Aeldari's arsenal, the lunge.
Sweet balls of Cain! John, check out that guy's lunge!
That's right. You'll be the talk of your Craftworld when people see the next battle PR shoot. They won't even notice the obvious.
Hey, there's no enemies in this shot. I didn't even notice.
The path of the pelvic floor at Webway Workout. When your stats plunge, master the lunge.
Exarchs wear more detailed and more embellished sets of armor, and as we saw from that weapons table, they have access to some crazy shit. The armor, and we've touched on this with the Phoenix Lords, it holds the souls of all the previous Exarchs who wore it. And so because of that, each new Exarchs becomes part of like a gestalt spiritual consciousness, stretching back thousands of years. So they have access to all the memories of previous Exarchs. And it gets to such a point that they lose their own name. They're only referred to by the ritual name associated with each suit of armor. As it goes through, Mr. Ben.
Do you think that is in any way inspired by the Bene Gesserit in Dune? Because that's
I don't know Ben Gesserit. Who's that?
Ben Gesserit, yeah. Yeah, because I think that's what happens with them, isn't it?
It may be, but I think that's I don't know what's the term called when it happens the most in comedians, where two comedians who don't talk about stuff will come up with the same concept. I can't remember what that's. There's an actual,
like inventors inventing the same thing.
Who have had no concept.
Okay.
I think it's a logical extension of the idea of what an aspect warrior is. If you see what I mean, there's a logical path there. Ultimately, each Exarch is reborn then as a living embodiment of their aspect, and they inherit all the memories and the skills and experience of their countless predecessors, assuming that they can get the armor back when an Exarch dies, because that's not always the case. And there's at least one piece of short fiction where an Eldar Banshee, a howling Banshee Exarch, was captured by a Keeper of Secrets, the Demon of Slaanesh, and it picked off the soul stones and dropped it into its mouth as the Banshee was screaming, as Banshees are wont to do. Really then, the armor and weapons empowered by this accumulation of souls and psychic force makes them the most formidable warriors amongst their people, with the powers unmatched even by other elite aspect warriors themselves. If you're not an Exarch, you're not getting in, effectively. So in essence, an Exarch becomes both a warrior and a living relic, a kind of fusion of past heroes whose entire existence is dedicated solely to eternal war. The only thing then above Exarchs are the Phoenix Lords. And we discussed one at length with Irilith. So the Phoenix Lords are amongst the kind of greatest heroes of the Craftworld Aeldari, each serving as the founder of a specific shrine. And so when that shrine is founded, you find that this Phoenix Lord will move on to the next Craftworld, and the next Craftworld, and the next. So eventually all Craftworlds will have access to all or a good mix of shrines aboard their Craftworld. Every Phoenix Lord kind of embodies a distinct facet of the Aeldari war god. So these were real Eldar, the Phoenix Lords, trained by Azurman, who is the very first aspect warrior, aspect Phoenix Lord, who was himself a devotee of Azurian, the kind of patriarchal Aeldari god. The kind of Zeus of their pantheon, who saw the wisdom in creating aspect warriors from the shattered experience of Khaela Mensha Khaine. And so Azurman was the first one, and then he became like a kung fu master training the other Phoenix Lords in various aspects of war. And that's sort of reflected with his associated aspect warrior temple, the Dire Avengers, who are, in quotes, the all-rounders of the Aeldari war machine, although they are and they aren't, as all all-rounders are. But within them is the seeds of all the other aspect temples. So if we have a look at image 15, that is the Phoenix Lord, Maugan Ra, who is the founder of the Dark Reaper temple, and we'll cover them in a couple of minutes.
I thought you mistake it for a Necron unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as with Exarchs, though the Phoenix Lords seem kind of mortal and they can be killed, Phoenix Lords have achieved a greater form of immortality, where each of the full souls of the original heroes who have donned the armor reside within it, merging with each Exarch who is ultimately chosen to wear the Phoenix Lord's armor. It's only Exarchs can become Phoenix Lords. If the Phoenix Lord is killed, an Exarch can don the armor, and we saw a bit of that ritual within the final episode of the Doom of Mimera, where an Eldar was chosen to put on this armor to become Irilith. And so when they don that armor, they gain the full combined memories, skills, and also personalities within the waystones or soulstones of all the previous bearers of the armor, effectively allowing each Phoenix Lord to rise again, as in the one we saw, Maugan Ra. Maugan Ra's distinct personality within which the new Exarch, the new physical manifestation, is completely absorbed into it, if you see what I mean.
Right, okay. So does that mean then that the overall personality of a Phoenix Lord is the personality of the original Phoenix Lord who was trained by Azurman?
Plus the memories and experiences of all the other Exarchs who have joined with the Phoenix Lord. But the Phoenix Lord's own personality is dominant, yeah.
Gotcha. That's so cool.
So let's say John Smith, the next Exarch, most of his personality has gone. He actually becomes the more Azurman than anything.
Yes. More Phoenix Lord.
It is basically just Azurman reincarnated.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
John Smith is
effectively,
gone. Azurman's in the place.
Yeah. I mean, John Smith to Maugan Ra is quite the name upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or downgrade.
So Mr. Ra.
I don't know.
Could Mr. M. Ra please come to reception?
M. Ra.
M. Ra. This type of subsuming of personality is no more highlighted than within the ritual of the young king. And this is where the avatar of each craft world is awoken. So they reignite the spirit and kind of racial memory of violence and their kind of war god within this great iron statue at the heart of each craft world. The assembled exarchs of all the shrines come to the area where the avatar, the chamber where the avatar kind of sits on a throne. And amongst their number, one is selected to be the young king, who embodies the great Eldar hero Eldnesh. As I said earlier, gender is irrelevant. The only thing important is that it is an exarch in good standing, as it were, from amongst the collective shrines. The exarch then removes their armor and is prepared through kind of ritualized combat, chanting, and again the application of war paint onto their bodies for the ritual to come.
And jazz scatting.
Scatting's good when you can't think of actual lyrics.
Yeah. Scat by name. So the runes of each of the aspect warrior temples are carved into the young king's back. And sometimes this blood, as it runs down, is collected into something called the Chalice of Creel. And symbolizes both their devotion and the ultimate sacrifice they're about to make. The young king is then armed with a small dog, or the Swindale, known as the Howling Death, which is the great weapon of the Avatar of Cain, either as a sword or a spear. Or an axe in some cases, very much like the Blade of Cain in Warhammer Fantasy. It appears as different things to different people. And then they enter the kind of inner sanctum of this shrine to Khaine, where the statue sits unmoving. There is a period of silence, followed by a soul-rending scream, followed by a wave of violent thought that is centered on the statue of the Avatar and spreads out across the Craftworld itself, where everyone suddenly feels this call to violence and call to war. As the Avatar of Khaine bursts through the doors to its own chamber, its inner fire reignited once again, and its arms dripping with blood. Yeah, and if we have a look at image 16, that is the Avatar coming out of the inner sanctum after having been awakened by the young king. Of the young king, there is no real trace apart from a vague similarity in the facial features of the statue and the blood that constantly runs from its hands. Known as the bloody-handed god, is Khaine.
Bloody hands.
Oh, bloody hands.
Oh, bloody hands. It's a mean card player.
Yeah. I thought we'd close out this episode now with a look at the actual shrines themselves that exist within the Aeldari Craftworld, and thus the ones that can actually be deployed to the tabletop. So if we have a look at image 17, that is the Dire Avengers. They are the oldest and most numerous of the aspect warriors, serving as kind of all-round elite infantry. So those are the buggers in blue, armed with shuriken catapults, able to deliver devastating and precise ranged attacks while kind of expertly judging when to advance, when to withdraw, when to ambush the enemy, and are
now.
Yeah, and go.
I think they've missed a real trick with shuriken trebuchets, I feel.
Those are artillery pieces. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fantastic.
It's just shuriken trebuchets that fire Dire Avengers at the enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I'll take it. Look, as long as it's a trebuchet, I don't care what it fucking fires. Just get it out there.
So in that image, you see not only the Dire Avengers squad, you can see the Exarch in the foreground with the back banner, and they have a spear. I think that one. Do they have a? I can't see properly. Do they have a gun or a? It would be help if I got the image up as well.
On their chest.
They've got wrist guns on their.
Yes. So those are shuriken pistols that are on their mounted on their forearms, and to the right side there you see the Phoenix Lord Azurmen. So that is the actual initial follower or trainer of the way of war within Eldar culture as it has become. So we're talking about the Exarch is the one with the white helmet, and it has what's called a shimmer shield strapped to its left forearm, and that is like a force field. And the Exarchs are usually, for the Dire Avengers, equipped with kind of close combat capability that will allow them to defend their squad or lead their squad into melee combat against their enemies. These, as I say, are the most common type of aspect warrior within Eldar culture. If we then have a look at image 18, we see the Dark Reapers, and these embody the notion of the destroyer, specializing in kind of long-range annihilation. So the Dark Reapers serve as effectively long-range fire support. They've got powerful missile launchers called Reaper launchers, and have advanced targeting systems, meaning they can target pretty much anything regardless of how fast it's moving or how far away it is up to their the range of their weapons. And they destroy used to effectively destroy fortifications, heavy units like heavy infantry and vehicles, but also to pin down opposing units. So they're really your Space Marine Devastator unit, as we would understand it from a human perspective. Mr. Chris?
There's a mini side profile Grim Reaper in the bottom center of the image. What's that?
That's that's their shrine symbol. That's how they view Khaela Mensha Khaine. That's the aspect of the war god that they follow.
Got it.
Cool. Very cool.
It looks like a mini, though. Like, is it a mini you can have? Is it?
Yes,
and is it just a prop, or is it a unit, or?
It's not a unit. It's a token within the game, especially in 10th edition. It allows them a reroll or some other beneficial aspect within the game itself. It's like a one-use token, effectively.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So if we have a look then on the right-hand side, we can see their Phoenix Lord, Maugan Ra. The updated miniature for this one, you see
formerly
he's carrying...
John Smith.
They're carrying an enormous shuriken cannon, which has a kind of reaping power blade strapped to the muzzle of it. And so, again, long-range fire support, but also once you get up close and personal, they'll just scythe you down like the aspect of death that they represent.
That's very, very cool.
It's quite a cool decoy. You're kind of drawn to the big blade, and they're like, "Yeah, see this? Bang!"
Yeah.
Look at the blade. Look at the blade.
I was looking at it to begin with, and I was just like, "That gun is just too big." And what is that blade? And then it just suddenly occurred to me that's a scythe. I was like, "Oh no, that's actually really cool, really cool." Also, Mr. Ra, could you get your legs further apart? I don't think your stance is wide enough. Like, nothing's toppling him over, is it?
My name is Maugan Ra, unaccustomed as I am to public speaking.
Yeah. There's another bitching tactical rock as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So, as one would assume, they are slower and certainly more heavily armored. Their armor is akin to that of a Space Marine in terms of the game. They have the same saving roll as a Space Marine. They tend to operate from elevated or protected positions behind the main force, allowing them to provide precise covering fire and destruction for the more mobile Eldar units to advance. So that's really, we start seeing the Dire Avengers are up there in the forefront. They're the main kind of battle line unit. And then we have other aspect warriors augmenting that facility, augmenting that function, be it fire support or close support or air support, that kind of notion. We move then to image 19. We have the fire dragons. These are aspect warriors who specialize in destroying heavily armored targets, like tanks, you're welcome, using fusion guns and melter bombs to obliterate vehicles, fortifications, and like dreadnoughts, that kind of thing. You know, the super heavy elite infantry at close range. So they take draconic prize in being able to destroy, like the total destruction of an enemy unit.
Absolutely fucking obliteration.
Yeah.
Just leave it. Yeah,
so
got it.
Again, they have quite heavy aspect warrior armor that allows them to survive closing with the enemy. Again, you'd want to do that under the covering fire of the Dark Reapers and the kind of tactical maneuvering of the Dire Avengers, because their weapons are quite short range. And it's really only through the kind of careful deployment and activation. And indeed, they're often delivered in wave serpent transports to strike at kind of key enemy assets with, horrifying, melty precision. And again, on the right-hand side there, we see Fugan, their Phoenix Lord. A student. All the other Phoenix Lords, apart from Azurmen, were students of Azurmen. They were the actual learning from Azurmen about that type of war. So he's armed with a huge power axe and a long-range fusion gun called a fire pike, which is it's like the heavy bolter of bolt guns. Well, not really. It's the sniper rifle of of fusion guns, and that allows him to take out kind of super heavy vehicles. And if you're lucky, it's usually done in one shot. The Exarch you can see in the foreground on the left also has a fire pike, but Exarchs can also take a heavy flamer, as they embody both the precise destruction and area destruction of dragony breath weapons. Mr. Ben.
You said we've got Margamra and Fugan. Did the Dire Avenger Phoenix Lord have a name? Did I miss that?
That's Azure Men. That's the blue bugger right at the start.
That is Azure Man.
Oh, I see.
That's the OG.
That's the guy. Right,
yeah, that was the OG. So what was that? Image 17?
Gotcha.
That
Yes.
guy is the teacher. He's the creator and teacher of Aspect Warriors.
Does that mean then that the other Phoenix Lords, like in current day 40K, do the other Phoenix Lords to some degree kind of bend the knee to the Phoenix Lord of the Dire Avengers, given that he's
I don't know that they would bend the knee because they are, as with all other Eldar, prideful, but they would certainly give weight to an opinion provided by the total master of war.
Right.
But
Okay.
as they have become masters of their own specialization, they wouldn't take advice from what they would feel was an amateur. An all-rounder, as it were.
Okay.
So they do. Their expertise counts for a lot as well.
The student becomes the master in that respect.
Absolutely. If we move on then to image 20, these are the Howling Banshees, and they are the lightly armored, very swift, close combat specialists, composed almost entirely of female warriors, though not exclusively, and all other aspect temples comprise what we would consider male and female Aeldari, together with what I suspect would be non-binary friends. They focus on speed, agility, and the use of their deadly power swords to overwhelm enemies in close combat, in hand-to-hand combat. The Banshee masks that they wear, you kind of see the grill on the front of their helmets, emits a sonic scream that can both paralyze and terrify foes, like the Banshees of Irish legend, allowing squads to, more often than not, cripple enemies even before hitting them or stabbing them with their power swords. Because they are so lightly armored, they either move around the flanks or within cover of other squads or are deployed by vehicles. Mr. Chris?
Once paralyzed, how long does a paralysis and fear last?
Yeah, great question. If you have a look at image 20A, that is the effect that a howling banshee scream has on a human.
God.
Now, to my mind, that is a needlessly sexual image. He's clearly having an orgasm in the height of a battle, and that's not appropriate. It cripples your central nervous system if they get it to the right pitch. And so you'll effectively go into the fetal position, and they just walk up and stab you when you're on the ground. They're able to modulate that screech to affect various different creatures. Mr. Ben?
Is that a Catachan jungle fighter?
That is a Catachan jungle fighter. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's a classic Saturday night out in Newcastle.
Yeah, all faces.
But again, how long does the effects last? Let's say the Banshee screams, I'm paralyzed. How long would I be paralyzed for?
Kral, look at that face. He's not getting up.
30 seconds to a couple of minutes, but by that time you've already been shish kebabbed 20 times by the Howling Banshees.
Yeah. More than enough time to get a shout.
Yeah, more than enough time. Yeah. Just the Exarch in the middle, who's leaping off the tactical rock there with the green helmet. They have access to some fairly nifty weapons, I think they're wielding kind of paired mirror swords, which are super duper power swords, and are able to kind of turn into a whirlwind of death using their speed and agility. On the right-hand side, you can see Jane Zar, who is their Phoenix Lord. Yes, the Eldar have a Phoenix Lord called Jane.
Cool.
And they embody this kind of idea of the vengeful female spirit of war, armed with the long-bladed executioner, which is this kind of power halberd. They also have a triskel, which is a huge three-bladed shuriken that they can throw at their enemies and comes back to their hand. So it's like a death boomerang. And the Exarch for the Howling Banshees can use those as well.
That's cool as fuck.
It's cool.
Really cool.
I like the looks of the Banshees.
Yeah.
Can't stop thinking about Mick Hucknall is hiding behind that mask though. So.
Yeah.
I give it all up for you.
Literally couldn't pick a Mick Hucknall song out of anything.
Growl just gave you one. I give it all up.
Perfect.
Great track.
So, Image 21, the Shadow Spectres, we covered them kind of extensively last episode. These are the kind of stealthy, long-ranged anti-armor warriors who float through the air using kind of their jetpacks and have this hollow field that makes them look spectral. They're the kind of the Dark Reapers of vehicles, I suppose.
Nice.
The combination of the hollow field and their kind of jetpack mobility makes them extremely hard to target. And the Exarchs can use their own targeting matrices to combine fire from their prison rifles to take out hugely armored targets and fortresses, allowing either for the destruction of that kind of stronghold or access points through which Dire Avengers and other aspect warriors can race through into war. They're on the right-hand side. On the right, we have Irilith, the Phoenix Lord, recently returned to the Aeldari race. So the Shadow Spectres are now, their shrines are starting to be established on other craft worlds outside of Mimera. So this is the impact that having a Phoenix Lord back in the game can have for the race as a whole. If we have a look then at Image 22, we're heading to the Striking Scorpions. These are
just a quick one back to the Shadow Spectres. Sorry, Darren, there was no Exarch in that, was there? Just for the avoidance of doubt.
No, there's a third image which is an Exarch, which I forgot to include, but they're armed effectively exactly the same as the Aspect Warriors. They have I think a fancier looking prism rifle, but their main ability is to focus the fire of all the other Aspect Warrior, all the other Shadow Spectres, onto a single target to devastate it.
And that's what they did when they killed Medeus.
Yeah. Where they were scything whole sections of construction material out of the facility, you know. Image 22 then, Striking Scorpions. These are the heavy infantry assault specialists who specialize in kind of stealthy infiltration, ambushes, and then just dicing their enemies apart with a combination of their chainswords, their shuriken pistols, and the Mandy blasters that they have on their helmets.
Got a Predator vibe about them with the dreads.
Exactly.
Kind of up close and personal.
Yeah. So they have, again, armor of superior strength and are trained to use the terrain to their advantage so they can get into melee combat with their enemies, either larger kind of infantry or elite leadership infantry units, which makes them kind of good for dropping in against both massed massed ranks of troops because they've got quite good armor and the various tricks they can use, including their Mandy blasters, to kill as many as possible as quickly as possible. But they're also kind of quite specialized in going up against elite. Like they'll go toe to toe with a Space Marine. And it'll be a flip of a coin as to whether they win or not. It's not certain, but it's not uncertain, or it is uncertain. I've forgotten what uncertain.
Which one, Darren?
Which one? I don't know. I'm uncertain. I'm uncertain, or am I? Yeah. So on the right there, you see a miniature that came out in 1990s. They've not replaced it yet.
Yeah, you can tell.
So this is Karandras.
Yeah.
This is the. He's got quite the pair of buxom Mandy blasters, let me tell you, on his helmet. Huge.
That's going to give him whiplash, isn't it? Like, poof, oh, fuck me.
Yeah. So as we see on Karandras, as we also see on the Exarch in the foreground of the squad image, they have a power fist, but it's in the shape of a pinchy claw, which is pretty cool. And it has a shuriken pistol mounted on the back of it. And he also has kind of a quite effective diamond-toothed chainsword that can slice through the hulls of enemy tanks. Of interesting note, this Phoenix Lord was not the student of Azurmen. This Phoenix Lord was the student of Ar-Ra the Black, who was the original Phoenix Lord for the Striking Scorpions, who fell to the worship of chaos. And so this is like the grand student of Azurmen.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ar-Ra was lured into darkness and betrayed Azurmen themselves and the other initial Phoenix Lords, the Azura, by bringing demons into the first shrine of the Aspect Warriors.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
He's a douchebag. The demons were defeated.
Jerk.
But Ara himself fled into the webway, who now lives there as this kind of fallen Phoenix Lord who burns with the dark light of chaos.
Wow.
Is he loving it?
He's McDonald's. He's loving it. Yeah.
Okay.
There is some confusion because in earlier editions it was implied that Ara became the leader of the Dark Eldar Incubi, who are this kind of mercenary Aspect Warrior style elite mercenary troop within the Drukhari culture, although I'm using Aspect Warrior style because I don't know if they're Aspect Warriors. So it was originally implied that Ara went to Kimura and founded the Incubi there, but now it's said that he's in the webway McDonald'sing it with Chaos. So not sure.
He doesn't have a mini?
Ara does not have a mini. So if we move on to image 23, these are the Swooping Hawks. They are the kind of highly mobile aerial warriors that use their kind of wing jump packs to fly across the battlefields to harass enemies violently, not sexually, and strike down from above with precision. Again, violently, not sexually. They're armed with kind of high-powered las rifles and grenade packs. So on one of their thighs is strapped a pack of grenades that they drop down on their enemy as they fly overhead like bird shit. So they're flapping explosive shitting birds that and specialize in hit and run tactics, kind of delivering explosive turds and energy-based las assaults before retreating to safety. If you will recall, the first kind of aspecty warriors mentioned in Epic were the Swooping Hawks. So these have existed as a concept since '89. and the avenging warriors who became the Dire Avengers. So those two concepts of war have existed since the late 80s within the Eldar game design. Mr. Chris.
Swooping Hawks, they've got wings. Do they flap, or do they propel through the like jetpacks?
The wings themselves create kind of an anti-grav field, and they have little thruster engines on the backpack that the wings are attached to. So they do flap.
They are functional. Otherwise, they're just big targets, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the foreground there on the squad, we see the Swooping Hawk Exarch, again, with larger wings. Size doesn't matter sometimes. Equipped here for close combat with a power sword and a las pistol weapon. They also have effectively what is a scatter laser, which is a multi-barreled heavy laser blaster that can kind of minigun enemies as they zip around the place. On the right there, we see their Phoenix Lord, Baharoth, who's known as the Cry of the Wind. And they're armed. They're armed with a quite snazzy looking power sword, and a heavy blaster, heavy las blaster. I think called a sun rifle. And they are the kind of, again, an initial student of Azuremen who specializes in this kind of hit and run, distracting, harassing tactics. So, again, in war, these, as the other aspect warriors are moving for position around the Dire Avengers, who are the kind of main battle line, you have these guys going around the flanks or going overhead, disrupting the enemy so that other aspects can get into position, and then they go down and will take out lighter infantry or anti-skirmisher units, I suppose, to allow the general aspect warriors to get into position to be effective, to be able to use their specific training and equipment.
Do the wings fold down, or do they have to kind of shuffle sideways through doorways and stuff and like duck down or get stuck in doorways?
Dude, they've wings, they fly over walls.
They fly into rooms. They enter rooms from the ceiling, Grell. Yeah.
If we move then on to image 24, we have the heroes of Batalis 3, the Warp Spiders. You'll recall, I think, that we discussed that each of these aspect warrior types are named after either a creature of legend or an aspect of the war god. So the Warp Spiders are named after small little wraithbone spiders that can kind of meld with the wraithbone core of each Craftworld, and they then spiritually, I suppose, destroy negative energy within the infinity circuit, that kind of immortal heaven within each Craftworld. So the Warp Spiders disappear, reappear, and then destroy negative, enemies effectively. And the Warp Spider aspect warriors do the same on the battlefield. Completely fearless, incredibly mobile. They've each got, you see their kind of weird backpacks are warp jump generators. So they can momentarily go into the webway or into the warp and then back out. And will bamf around the place, much like what's your man, Night something from X-Men.
Nightcrawler.
There we go, the blue dude. Yeah.
I think these guys are my faves.
Yeah, so these guys risk not only their lives but also their souls, because they're accessing the warp directly every time they jump. So they are super effective at getting into places, as we saw within the canyons of Batalis 3. They have death spinners, which fire clouds of this monomolecular wire, which just... have you seen...
Resident Evil.
The original Resident Evil movie? in the tunnel where they've got that laser mesh that cuts the guy into chunks. It's that, but as a cloud of wire. They can also come equipped with shuriken weapons, although I'm not sure that exists in this current iteration. But you can see the Exarch in the foreground, who has not only kind of two smaller death spinners, that's the name of the web weapon they have, but they've also got a power blade strapped kind of Wolverine style to each of their forearms. That allows them to kind of bamf in, spray everything down, and then dice up what isn't already diced up by their the web spinners.
Does their armor have any sort of additional protection to the effects of the warp, given that they have to bamf in and bamf out, or is it just standard armor?
It's standard armor, but they do have, it's part of their masking ritual where they mentally prepare themselves and strengthen their souls for this journey through this incredibly brief journey through the warp.
Brief but eventful.
Yes, I'm sure that's not the first time you've used that phrase. Their Phoenix Lord, as you can see here, is new to the game in 10th edition. It's a Phoenix Lord called Lycus, known as the Whispering Web. And you can see they have death spinners on arms above them. I think these are las blasters on arms below, and they're equipped with a significant kind of two-handed power sword. And the miniature there, they are emerging from this web, which was the portal through which they traveled through the warp itself. And of course, then, given the extra arms they have, they now have 8 limbs, like all good warp spiders do.
You say they're new to the game?
New to the game in 10th edition is that Phoenix Lord.
As in a new character, new to the role.
Yeah.
Are they living up to the role? Are they doing a good job? Are they?
I believe they're fairly effective. I haven't kept up with 10th edition
reviews
rules,
coming up.
But yeah.
Okay. Probation period still in play. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. We move now into our final sets of aspect warriors, and these are the vehicular aspect warriors. So, image 25 there, you have the shining spears. These are the cavalry, the elite cavalry of Craftworlds, riding these kind of large jet bikes to be able to deliver high-speed charges that can, like, decisively turn the tide of battle. So these are the well-placed arrow, as it were. If you find a weak spot and these guys are able to get in and take out enemy infantry, enemy positions, or light or medium vehicles, they can turn the tide of battle quite swiftly. They're armed, they're mounted on jet bikes. Each jet bike has twin-linked shuriken catapults underneath it. And they have these kind of large laser lances, which is in fact a firearm and a piercing weapon.
Stabber as well.
If it needs to be. So they specialize in hit-and-run tactics. And so they combine kind of swift mobility together with the precision to strike repeatedly before an enemy can respond. So these guys will kind of loop around, attacking the same enemy multiple times until they're destroyed. Again, a harassing style of aspect, like an outrider, a flank attack. But, several squads of these are enough to take out a well-entrenched squad of Space Marines or other enemies are available. They do have a Phoenix Lord called Drastanta, who's known as the Tempest of Starlight. They do not have a miniature for this Phoenix Lord, but they do exist there.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm not head of 40K development. If we move then to image 26, which will be our final image for this episode, this is a Crimson Hunter aspect warrior. the Crimson Hunters are pilots of kind of ultimate skill. They are the aces of the Aeldari fighter pilot kind of realm. Their kind of ritual wargear is a jet fighter, a kind of super duper elite jet fighter from the Aeldari culture. Their shrines consist of kind of weird floating, orbiting structures, orbiting hangar buildings, hangar shrines that orbit around Craftworld perimeters from which they can launch to be able to kind of set up the cap, the combat air patrols around the Craftworld to keep it safe. But of course, they're used in war as well on the planet's surfaces.
Is that kind of like an aircraft carrier?
More yes, an aircraft carrier, but it would be considered a shrine rather than a vehicle, as it were. Yeah. The identity of their Phoenix Lord is currently unknown. I suspect. Can you imagine given the complexity of some of these Phoenix Lords compared to the base Aspect Warriors, can you imagine? They'd be like 9 wings on this fucking ship.
Yeah. and the shining spears. Exarch's going to be not Exarch. Phoenix Lord is going to be insane.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll
just be, I reckon, he won't even be driving it. He'll just be surfing on the front of the thing. Like,
yeah. Of interesting note, the kit that's used to make the Crimson Hunter fighter can also do, is it a Wraith Lock? I can't remember the name but it's a fighter that's like the Ghost Warriors. There's no pilot. It's just a load of spirit stones in the craft itself.
That's very cool.
We'll get these stones to pilot this plane.
So those are the Aspect Warrior temples that are available to play on the tabletop. As we said at the start, there's many more, some of which are named. I'll just rattle through them here. You've got the Crystal Dragons, the Golden Raptors, the Blinding Claws, the Coiled Serpents. My favorite name is the Slicing Orbs of Xandros, which I think is just a load of, let's call them heavy-set Eldar. They're like Baron Harkonnen. A load of Baron Harkonnens floating through the battlefield.
Portly Eldar.
Yeah. There are...
they're struggling to breathe a little bit.
Yeah. There are other vehicle crews that have Aspect Warrior equivalents. Another one would be Eagle pilots. And those are the kind of... they're the Dire Avengers of aerial combat. They're the ones that are used to pilot, like all the aircraft we mentioned in the Doom of Mimera. More often than not, it'll be an Eagle pilot Aspect Warrior who's piloting those. But they are pilots rather than the Crimson Hunters, who are pilots with a specific plane or a specific fighter, if you see what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway, Aspect Warriors. There we go. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us.
Bravo.
Those are the elite fighters of Aeldari culture. Join us next episode when we look at what it means to be an Imperial Governor. That's it. I love you.
Cool.
Thoughts, lads?
Fucking tastic.
Spider Aspect Warriors, I think, are my fave. They're cool, the way they bamf them out, and I like the monofilament weapons as well. I think that's really fucking gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think
high risk, high reward. You got to dabble with a bit of warp travel.
Yeah.
Hang on. Don't Eldar. Sorry,
Crowd. I'll just
cut you off.
Yeah, no.
Let me just get this out. Yeah, please, would you? Don't the Aeldari use the webway, which is a different, safer version of traveling through the warp? But the Aspect Spiders have to use the dangerous method.
No, it's that they will use the warp. It's their teleportation through the warp itself. Because in earlier editions, you had to roll a dice for each warp spider that came through, that teleported, and if you rolled a 1, you lost the mini. The mini was lost in the warp.
Wow.
And
presumably the webway is a specific, they're only in set locations. They're specific tunnels, whereas the warp is...
it's their underground. Yeah, it's the London Underground of space.
Okay. Yeah, there's a network.
So the warp,
fixed network.
So bamfing in and out of the warp presumably gives them greater choice in terms of location and like where they can...
Greater mobility.
Reach.
Yeah.
Greater mobility, right, okay. I think
greater
of all
local mobility. Yeah.
Of all the minis, I think the Warp Spider Phoenix Lord wins that one. I mean, it is unbelievable.
It's pretty badass.
It is very, very
I don't know.
badass.
I kind of like Maugan Ra. That pose is very much what I thought in the Doom of Mimera, Bran Redmaw was astride at the front of his battle barge, playing his guitar.
Playing his guitar, absolutely.
Into battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the overall concept of the Banshees is my fave. But I think,
screaming women? That's grim.
I think it's
other genders are available.
It's the acrobaticness of them. Like they're like meant to be super swift. I like that.
Yeah. But what about the kind of general concept of aspect warriors then? Do you now kind of see where it comes from and what it's kind of meant to be?
God, it would be awful if I said no, wouldn't it?
Nope, don't get it.
Yeah. Can we do another couple of hours? I'm not sure I fully grasp it yet. No, there's
just maybe it's just because I am tarnished or biased towards like my knowledge of Space Marines because we've covered them a lot more. But I just akin them to companies, or vice versa. I akin the Primaris companies to Aspect Warriors. Do you know what I mean? There's parallels there, but I know that's kind of where the similarities end. You know what I mean? Like Aspect Warriors are not Space Marines. Space Marines are not Aspect Warriors. They just have the same kind of model in terms of specializations, and that's it.
I think in terms of specializations, it's probably more accurate to say that each shrine represents a different chapter of Space Marines. You know, like the Raven Guard are renowned for stealthiness. The Space Wolves are renowned for ultra-violence. The Ultramarines are kind of the kind of general all-rounder poster boy, and that's sort of reflected with the Dire Avengers. I think there the conceptual similarity ends.
Yeah, because interestingly then on the tabletop you could have, an Aeldari force that's made up of lots of different types of aspect warrior, whereas, a Space Marine army is just going to be a single chapter, isn't it? So you got more, more variation.
Perhaps I should have mentioned in the episode itself, but it didn't really fit, that aspect warriors are used to augment the mainline force of guardians, of basic Joe Bloggs Eldar troops, with one exception, which is the Craftworld of Baal Tan, which has something called the Swordwind, which is an army made exclusively of aspect warriors.
Cool.
And they are terrifyingly effective on the battlefield.
So can you get minis of just general Eldari warriors who are not
Guardians?
Not aspect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Guardians, is that what they're called? Right, okay.
Yeah. Cool. So the Guardians, a lot of those Guardians will be like non-aspect warrior drivers and pilots of vehicles as well.
Right, okay.
And general gunners.
Do you know what? In a moment, I think I was given a Games Workshop gift card a few years ago by work when they discovered that we did this podcast, and I bought a load of Aeldari figures in I think at the time full intention of creating an army. I really, after this episode, I really want to go and paint them all now. I'd love to play. Although my experience playing Kill Team with an Eldar force is it's a tough one. There's a lot to think about. It's not...
Well, just to get you started, that's an original Banshee. Howling Banshee.
Love it.
And that's the original Howling Banshee Exarch. Do I have something white we can... Don't do that. That's got my address on it.
Nice.
You can't really see it. Yeah.
It's frozen.
I need to get better lighting.
Yeah. Got got the outline. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, seeing your painted minis is that just that doesn't inspire me to go and paint. That's all.
He's gone from wanting to paint and play to wanting to not do that at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, what's the point? What is the point? Right, we have got to wrap up. All right, that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more 40K content, just hit the Patreon link in the description and sign up today to listen to our bonus show, 40KO'd. And I'm not sure if I've updated this, and the ad-free, uncut edit, not video edit, because it's all video now, of this episode, all for a mere £5. This is just a fucking great deal, really. Details and imagery for the topics we've discussed in this show can be found on our website at layingdownthelore.com. It's also in the show notes, where you can also find all our previous episodes, release schedules, and merch. And you can join our Discord for free or sign up for full access for just £1. You just hit the link in the description and come and tell us what you think of, well, Aspect Warriors, I guess. I mean, it was right there. We'll be
my
back
elf
again.
shards. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that as well. We'll be back again soon to explain just how little Kral and I know. And until then, goodbye.
Farewell.
Love you. Bye.